don't trust me, come with a real, he hip in the front seat, get my meals, I'm gunning for the money in the bank, coming with a dank, scrolling in the tank, rolling with the gang. You sit and I on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah, I'm okay.
What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Make sure you smash the like button, share the stream, tell all your friends about it. We appreciate you for joining us. KG on the desk once again after he did so well on Friday. Eazy got demoted. Eazy is now in the man's chair.
I've been worried about you too, dog.
Yeah.
I'm pitching relief.
I ain't seen you in a minute, man. You've been dropping diss tracks and shit. What's going on with you?
Yeah, man. Hey, I just knew they had nothing to say once they got exposed. That's it. That shit was legendary. I don't care what no one says, bro. Kendrick pop on, expose their old tweets. Rest in peace, Neil Stick. They're still my guys. I love you guys.
Hey.
Well, Eazy got demoted to the man's chair, so that's where he'll be joining us today.
I'm selling a car today, all right? So if you guys need cars, you like seeing me in the mat. If you like KG on the show, buy more cars from me. That's all I'm saying.
Makes sense.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We got Chris, we got Nick, you know the usual suspects. We got a lot to talk about today, but before we get into sports, I do gotta.
Damn, that's broke, huh?
Yeah.
There's no
shout out. Shit's real loose. I gotta shout out one thing.
Yeah.
I met my nephew this weekend.
Oh, hey,
little baby Oliver.
Shout out.
It was awesome. You know, he was staring right in my eyes. He was like squeezing my finger. My sister-in-law got mad because she was like, he doesn't like make eye contact with me like that. And yeah, so he's just a little guy. He's just a couple months old. So it was awesome meeting him. I still don't like kids and still boo them kids.
Okay,
I'm right.
But,
all right. So you're booing your nephew?
Except for Oliver. No.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
He made the cut.
Different circumstances.
Yeah, I don't like kids in public places. I figured out that's what it is. I don't like kids where there aren't supposed to be kids. Like if you're at a brewery or you're at a bar and there's kids running around.
Or a movie.
That's fair.
Elbow.
Or a plane.
That's
plane,
fair.
Movie, dude, this is going to piss me off. I already know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I met Oliver. It was awesome. Love that little guy. So it's good to meet him over the weekend.
Shout out.
AG, how was your weekend?
Can't complain, man. Got to sit on my ass. Always good when I get to sit on my ass.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Wifey ain't had me doing much this weekend. Shout out, wifey. What's up?
Shout out.
How about you?
I did some grown man shit. I had to power wash my deck.
Damn.
And then we got to do some gutters. And I don't want to do them. So if you guys do gutters, hit me up, give me a good price, and you save me a lot of time. Because I don't even gonna lie to you guys. I'm not.
Did you even attempt it?
So here's the thing.
Your ass got up on that ladder. Was like, nope.
It's like if you're doing gutters yourself, to my knowledge, you can only do like every 10 feet. But like if you're a person that does gutters, you could cut it and bend it straight, like however long you need it to be.
Right.
And when you're doing every 10 feet, it's more likely to break apart because you're like, you know what I'm saying? There's like seam together and shit like that. Plus, I'm not that type of dude. I don't do those type of things. I don't fix cars.
Yeah.
I don't fix shit. I don't. If I have to, I'll YouTube it.
Right.
And through a couple like manic episodes, being pissed off, throwing shit, punching shit, I might get it done.
Right.
But I just know how I am. I'd rather just call someone, have them do it for me. Do you guys fix shit? Do you know how to fix that?
Not for real. It depends on what it is.
Yeah, see?
But
I fixed some stuff at my house when I had that house.
Putting a dresser from IKEA doesn't count, Smitty.
No, like I fixed some stuff. I fixed the sink. I fixed a washing machine at my house in Gunson when I was living in East Lansing.
That's a deep resume. I respect that.
Yeah.
I fixed the heat, kind of, one time, and then it broke again.
That's
what I'm saying. I get mad and just...
I remember that.
Yeah, see? That was like a week-long... I fixed the heat twice, and it broke twice in that same week.
So did you really fix it?
I guess not, no. I guess not. I'm just not that type of dude.
I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, we do got a lot to talk about. One thing that was evident last night, nobody needs to fix the Minnesota Timberwolves because they're going off. They obviously took care of...
What a game.
Ant struggled a lot of that game, man.
Yeah.
He got it together in the fourth. But
Those quick doubles were getting to him a little bit.
Yeah.
You could tell.
I got a question, just because I know how the microscope is on a guy that I used to be more of a fan of, but LeBron. Is it the same with Ant? Because our guy Flannel Sam, but Hardy in the chat last night immediately was like, Ant got bailed out. We were like, yo,
bailed out.
No, because the thing is Ant found different ways to be impactful. Yeah. Was he shooting inefficiently? Yes, absolutely. But he was making the right reads. He had like 7 assists. Like he was doing other things. He was making plays. He was telling Cat, hey, when I pass the ball here, you need to flare up.
Yeah.
Like he was
Defensively,
directing
he was
his
good, too.
teammates. He was being a floor general. He was doing, and not to mention the defense. The defense on Jamal Murray alone was spectacular.
Yeah, in the second half, he really took Jamal Murray out of the game, and that was a huge part of it because outside of Jokic and Jamal Murray, nobody on the Nuggets was doing anything. Literally had no other double-digit scores on the Nuggets last night.
Even Jokic was like 2 for 10 from 3.
Yeah, man, he was tired, bro. They kept throwing bodies at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. They had that Cat, Reed,
Yep.
freaking Gobert.
You got 3 big bodies that you can put on that guy and wear him out.
Yeah.
On top of the pace of play that the Timberwolves play with is not something that Jokic wants to get into, where they're just up and down the court, constantly harassing you, in the front court and stuff like that. So it was fun to watch, and that's going to be a fun series, the Western Conference Finals of the obviously Timberwolves Mavericks.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great, great team, one of the best offensive teams in the league versus the best defensive team in the league. So that should be a great matchup to watch.
Unstoppable force versus the immovable object. Classic game.
And already called the shot. He says he's guarding Kyrie.
Yep.
I can't wait.
Who y'all got?
I got the Timberwolves, man.
T-Wolves.
Damn.
Just because Luka's been getting. Listen, I think, by the way, and Spinny already called me out for it, rooting for my narrative. I was low-key kind of rooting for the Mavs situation not to work, just for my narrative. But I got one thing I'll say is those are greats, though, at those positions. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's going to work, it's like when LeBron and Wade weren't necessarily a fit, but because they're so individually great, it worked. Luka and Kyrie quite possibly can end up being that. I think they are that, just straight up. But this team is great defensively. They play team defense. Obviously, Ant can turn it up whenever he needs to. Cat, as much as you hate him, he stepped up pretty big last night, too.
Yeah. Cat was playing good. And it was, what was it? Reggie Miller said Karl Anthony Towns is the best low post defender on the Timberwolves. And so that just proves Rudy Gobert is a fucking fraud. Like, to have the defensive player of the year being nothing but a help side defender is embarrassing. You're a bum. You don't deserve those trophies. You should turn them in, you French pussy.
So, he hates Gobert.
I fucking hate
I feel you. I don't care for him either, but what did he do to you?
He shut down the league, bro. He shut down the league.
That is true. He started COVID.
Fucking bum.
Known
He
fact.
cried when he didn't make an all-star game. Like,
Did he cry for
an
real?
all-star. Yes, bro. He was in the locker room like, I should have been there. He's a fucking
And he got choked
dude.
by Draymond.
And he's French.
He did get choked by
After
Draymond.
years of beef, he got choked by Draymond.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, bro. That shit was awesome. That is a goat for that shit.
He also cried about not getting touches from Donovan Mitchell. You saw in this game 7,
that
he was
shit
2
was
for
crazy.
7, and they were all layups and dunks.
Yeah.
That
Like,
was crazy.
Come on, bro.
He's a bum. He is the
What
most
are you
useless
doing?
player in the NBA when he's not 2 feet from the basket.
They were ugly shots, too. Like, they
Yes.
weren't even close. They were
Dude,
bricks off
that-
the backboard
that
to the
fucking
rim.
fadeaway. Oh, my God. Dude.
That's some
That shit-
2K shit.
That
I
shit
swear.
pissed me off so. That is literally 2K shit.
He took over that fourth quarter till he fouled out. I'm not going to lie. He was doing his thing for a minute. But who else took over, I got to ask you a question about. Because shout out to my guy Sammy, also at Suburban Ford in Ferndale. He told me this morning he'd rather have Naz Reid over Jalen Duren. I told him he was tripping.
I don't think he's tripping.
Yeah,
He's not tripping.
It's not the craziest thing.
I don't think he's tripping.
You'd rather
now,
have like straight up exchange?
right now, Naz Reid is a better player in the NBA than Jalen Duren.
But
Jalen Duren has more potential, but
yes.
becoming something and tapping into that potential compared to already being the 6th man of the year and a fantastic player.
Yeah.
Like, there is definitely, he's not crazy for
And a
saying that.
and a versatile big, too.
Yeah.
Like, one that can literally shoot something
shoot.
that we're not expecting from Duren. Like you saw it, man. You saw it with Jokic in that fourth quarter when Naz Reid blocked him. That was just, it was so valuable to have a big that could just come in off the bench and have that energy and defend literally the best offensive big man the game has seen in decades. So
He can shoot, he can play defense, he
That's
can
true.
move the ball, he can distribute the ball, bring the ball up the court. Like, he's a much more versatile player than Jalen Duren.
agreed.
Yeah.
So I don't hate it.
Same thing, KG?
Yeah, y'all kind of swayed me because I would have said Duren just off the ceiling alone. Because is this Naz Reid ceiling? Like, yes, he is really good. He's 6th man of the year, but is this the ceiling for him?
I think it kind of is. I think it kind of is, and that's not a
not a bad
bad
thing.
thing. Like 6th man of the year is an award. How many
what's
awards do you
Duren's ceiling?
expect? But is Duren going to be getting DPOY? Like, what awards is Duren going to be getting? Like,
Yeah, it's tough.
Like 6th
Defensive
man
player
of
of the year is tough.
I'll say
6th man
Duren's
of
a
the
better
year is really
rebounder.
good. Yes,
But other than that,
absolutely.
I would give Naz Reid every other category. He's
Yeah.
a better scorer. He's a better facilitator. He's a better defender.
Well, he's been in the league, what, 4 or 5 years now?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was his 5th season. Also, I think Duren has upside passing the basketball.
Well, yeah.
Like you saw that at times this season. Obviously, he can upgrade that just being 20 years old. As well.
Yeah.
So
No.
question then, with the second apron, we haven't seen the effects of it totally yet, but it's there now. Is that a guy you throw a bag at to bring here?
Naz Reid?
because they're not going to be able to keep him.
He just signed a contract.
Yeah.
He's
So they're going to be able to keep
anywhere.
him with Gobert, Cat, and when Ant re-ups.
I don't
They're
know.
going to get rid of Gobert
Yeah,
before they get
I don't
rid
know
of
if
anybody.
they. I don't
Yeah,
know. If
Naz
they
Reid
cut
signed a 3-year, $41 million contract.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
cheap.
Raps on that.
I'm telling you guys,
They
I don't
got
think
him
this
for a
Dallas
discount,
series
for
is going
sure.
to be as competitive as you guys think. I really think Minnesota is going to be a huge problem for Dallas. I know
Yeah.
that Gobert has been exploited by Luka in the past, but the difference is Gobert wasn't surrounded by perennial all defensive caliber players on the wings that are going to fight through those screens.
Right.
That physical play. You saw how much it wore down on Jokic. Jokic last year was the one that was wearing down the other teams,
That's
right?
true.
Every team looked gassed at the end of the series except Denver. This year, it was the opposite because this Minnesota team is plays with a physicality that we haven't seen since our going to work Pistons. So I don't think that. Well, I do think it'll be like a 6-game series. I don't really think Dallas has a good chance of winning this series. I truthfully I don't.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that because I am rooting for Dallas myself, but I just don't know
I
what
am
they're going to
too.
do in the front court. Like,
Yeah.
there's
I-
no way to stop that.
People talk about the front court like stopping them. I think it's going to be harder for Minnesota's front court to stop Dallas's. Like when you look at the athleticism and the ability of their front court players to play outside of the
They got
paint.
length, yeah.
Lively.
It's tough for Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert gets cooked on the perimeter whenever he's out there.
Yeah.
Karl Anthony Towns is all right on the perimeter, but he's not that great as a perimeter defender. So those guys are gonna have their hands full playing on the perimeter and playing in pick and rolls with Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic, having PJ Washington and Lively and Gafford in the pick and rolls. Like all of those guys are more athletic and faster than the bigs of the Timberwolves. So I think that'll be a good matchup to watch.
Yeah.
Bro, I just got so grossed out. I just saw Marvin Bagley. Well, I remember his deal being like 12 and a half. And he just sold Naz Reid's contract.
Yeah.
It's only $1 million more.
Brandon Dogs in the Woodward
Oh
Sports
my
chat.
God.
Troy Weaver paid Isaiah Stewart more than Naz Reid.
That's crazy.
Jeez.
Yeah, Troy Weaver sucks. He should be fired.
That is crazy. Was that you who said that the other week, too, that Naz Reid's what Isaiah was supposed to be?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Naz Reid is everything the Pistons were hoping Isaiah Stewart would be.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah, that would have been electric. Something that doesn't suck, though, Stevie Y, first-round draft pick. Nate Danielson
Yes.
going to the Grand Rapids Griffins for the playoff push. Spenny, how you feeling about it?
Yeah, it's awesome. You love to see it. This is a kid who was probably the best prospect in camp when you were looking before the season started. He was right at home. He was showing out. It was impressive. He obviously had a great season for Portland, where he's in Portland, I think. Yeah. And, so he deserved it to get the call up to GR. Hopefully he can make the team next year because this, like I said, I don't know who I'm more excited for between him and ASP when you look at the prospects for the Red Wings.
What
Like, this kid's
position
special.
does he play?
He's a center.
Okay.
Yeah, so his kid's nice.
Kind of the same build as Larkin when it comes to offense and defense. Like maybe not the super high entire 100-point ceiling, but I'm excited to see Nate Danielson in Grand Rapids with this other young group. So hopefully they can make a push, win that championship, and get hot going into the season next year because we need them.
Speaking of hot and speaking of young guys,
Whoa, big pause, bro.
Lucas
Come
Raymond.
on. What type of
Lucas
time
Raymond
you
has
on?
What is
been,
going on?
Lucas Raymond has been absolutely scorching hot for Team Sweden. He's been doing nothing but putting the puck in the back of the net, looking like one of the best players on that team.
Freaky ass.
It's
man.
extremely. Yeah. He a fan. I'm a fan of Lucas Raymond. I'll say it right now. The kid has been hot.
Freaky ass,
Kid has
Spinny.
been
Better keep
hot.
your ass inside.
It's impressive to watch him go out there and play at that high level.
Yeah. What do you think that means in terms of next year? Does he take that next step?
I think he's going to score 40 goals next year. If he stays healthy, if he plays the whole season, I think he'll score 40 goals. The kid was on an insane tear at the end of the year last year.
Yeah.
He was the guy that kept the ship afloat when Larkin was out, and he was the best player on the Red Wings last year, and it wasn't close. Like the kid was electric. I think he takes another step going forward. Playing with the Swedish national team with guys like Karlsson and Hedman is only going to help him going forward and looking like he deserves that A. Like getting the A on the Swedish national team, standing up there with your other captains being Karlsson and Hedman is no small feat.
Right.
He's recognized as a top 3 player in Sweden, and I expect him to go out there and have a 40-goal season next year.
That's what's up, man. Wings, we got to get in the playoffs next year. Man.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
I was just gonna say, seeing Raymond in the playoffs after his hot finish, it would have been great. 72 points last year. Spenmo, do you think he can get up to 90?
Yes, I do. Especially when
He's
you look at
flirting
the
with
lines
it.
he's going to be playing with. He's going to be first line all year next year. It's not going to be You're not going to jumble around this shit anymore. Like Lucas Raymond's going to be number 1 line, number 1 power play all year next year. So he's going to get all the opportunities to score.
Real quick, just before we get too far into the show and I forget, And then there's one other thing, actually, I'll probably bring back when we get back from break. But Terrell NFL.
Shout out.
But also.
Come on, bro.
But also. So if you guys aren't familiar.
Not the shirt jersey.
The Eazy Sportsbook is always open. All right, you guys talk a little crazy in chat. I talk crazy myself. Sportsbook open. Been jersey bets all day. I get the jersey bets for my son Bryson. Shout out to Abe, paid the first one. Terrell, the second one. Detroit Supremacy, that was a cash bet. Could buy a couple jerseys with that one. We might run that one back.
Shout out Supremacy, paid up.
Yes, sir. What do I do with this, boys?
Oh.
Because it was a jersey bet.
It was a jersey bet. And he sent the jersey.
He said I am very appreciable of this because, again, it's for Bryson. It is the new jersey. But the bet was a jersey.
That's what I'm like. Is it for you? Like, I'm like, no way.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
No, it's for Bryson.
So, like, what do I, like, I don't know. How do I handle this? Chat? KG?
I mean, that's disrespect.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Like I should find his address on packaging?
And it's got to be from him, right?
That's the only jersey other bet I had going outside of the guy from the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Pete Bukowski.
Yeah, that's pretty soft, Terrell. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, he did you dirty, man.
Right? Oh, listen, if you guys see him in chat, call him out.
Right, we
got
to confirm that's him first. But yeah,
that's like
that's him. That's crazy.
like what, like a $50 shirt compared to a $150 jersey?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's definitely going to Bryce either way, but I'm just saying, like, what do I demand a jersey? Or I'm saying, like,
you gonna go beat his ass?
Terrell NFL in the Woodward Sports chat says, Eazy, you lucky I sent you anything when you were denying the bet was even real.
He started on it.
He said I denied the bet was even real?
Yeah.
I denied the bet was real?
And you're welcome in caps.
I'm very appreciative. Don't I said that part of it.
Hold on.
He talking crazy.
He's talking greasy, bro.
He talking like somebody who lost a damn bet. That's why he's talking. He's salty as hell. Terrell, I'm just saying it was a jersey bet, bro. That's all I'm saying.
He did.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. He gave you the sleeves. You might have to give him the Pusha T. Like,
yeah,
man.
Might have
to
this track
hop in the booth, man. Hop in the booth.
This track on Terrell's.
Put it on wax, bro.
Yeah.
Did he really say that first part? I saw that. You're welcome.
Yeah.
He said. No, I gotta find this.
He said, "Eazy, you lucky I sent you anything when you were denying the bet was even real."
I was just denying it. I was trying to collect the entire time.
You denied the bet was real for the last 2 months.
Well,
we've been calling him out for 2 months
I thought you were the one saying it was real.
Yeah, Terrell, that was you. Listen.
Yeah, that's
wild. Weird.
Listen, Terrell, I appreciate it. If you find the time, if you want to send the actual jersey, Jameer Gibbs Bryson would love it. That's all I'm saying. I'll send this one back. Or you want to send another jersey, I'm cool with it.
Don't send it back here. He said you a damn thing after this.
I'm cool with it. Probably not. It sounds like it's not.
You might as well keep that.
But I'm appreciative you sent it. He's a man of his word, kind of. I don't know how to go about that one.
We do got to go to break, though. Let me tell you guys about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of that for just $10 a month. No matter where you're at, there's a Planet Fitness nearby. More than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Drive into summer and drive into savings during Feldman Chevrolet's biggest Memorial Day sale ever. We're stocked with new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs, all priced to move. Like this 2024 Silverado for only $217 a month, or this 2024 Equinox for as low as $199 a month. Find your freedom in a Feldman at the Memorial Day sale going on now at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts Woodward Sports.
Are you tired of the same old Detroit sports merch? Head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab today. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all of that at the woodwardsports.com shop tab. Get you some brand new merch today.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. For KG, for Nick, for Eazy, for Chris, I'm Spencer. We are live from the Planet Fitness Studios. Make sure you smash that like button.
Smash.
We just got done talking about Terrell from FL being...
Yeah.
He played you.
Hey, the poll in the chat right now, if you're not driving, make a vote. Do we let Terrell in the FL call in, defend his honor? Or do we tell him, hell no, send the damn jersey? Chat, it's up to you guys. Spinny, I'll let you decide how long that one.
Remember, this is
over.
for his son. This isn't even for Eazy.
It's not for me. It's for baby B.
For a child.
It's for a child.
You guys know how I feel about children, but B is not a part of that. B's cool. I would not boo B. But like you're gonna do that to it.
You should probably let him call in and defend himself.
Terrell, there is not a single chance. Hold on. I don't even want this guy to call in. Brother, Spinny can vouch for me. We've been chasing you down. We've been the one hollering at you about the bet. I never not once said the bet was not real. I've been telling you to scream it because you said it was under different circumstances. I said, okay, find it, screen record it. Let's see what it was about.
Yeah.
There ain't nobody said it wasn't real. But chat, vote,
win, you lose.
Put the votes in. I had to steal his headphones from you though. That's cool. If he calls
you are good.
Just so I can hear him.
But we it's pretty wild.
Actually, can I do one more thing? One more. Sorry. It's lines related. And shout out to you. You helped make it happen. People in the chat helped make it happen. And it's Rakershaw hit your boy up for a car.
Yeah.
Nice.
What do I suggest to this young
Bronco
millionaire?
What dealership get him in that 5.0 thing.
5.0 thing?
5.0 thing.
See, but you're trying to get him that Rasheed Rice. I'm trying to just keep him safe in the street.
What type
SUV.
of car is at your dealership?
So I sell all Fords, new, used. I also sell all used, but we get a lot of, because it's out here by
Why don't
Birmingham.
you get him a Mustang, bro?
The roads? I get a Mustang.
I mean, people drive on the roads anyway. Chargers, Hellcats, and shit.
I was thinking about SUV.
Oh, well, he wants an SUV?
Well, I was thinking because of snow.
Yeah.
I'm
makes sense.
I'm trying to keep him safe, okay?
Well, I mean, yeah, you can't go wrong with a Bronco, maybe an Expedition. I don't know. What do you trying to drive?
How about you talk to him? Yeah, what does he want?
So I sent him the Bronco, then I sent him the link, and I said, hey, Michigan, the roads, they're not the best. And obviously we got snow too.
Yeah.
I'd probably look at that Bronco Raptor because it's
the Raptor
nasty.
would be a nice car.
Oh,
too.
dude, it's sick. But there's also I should recommend the truck. I know MCDC's out here in the F350.
Yeah.
Big
Get him
boy.
in that Raptor truck.
Yeah, I probably should, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. That's my other question I had.
Sell him the most expensive car on the lot.
Right.
Get that commission, brother.
He should be getting that big Ford discount. So
he does get a Ford discount.
Yeah, I was about to say he definitely should
up.
get that Ford discount.
Should have told him you need 2 cars.
Right,
Shout
bro.
out to
Double
Rakershaw.
up.
Yeah.
Double up,
Shout out
man.
Ennis Rakershaw.
summer and a winter
We
car.
do have something that I'd like to talk about because
Okay.
PFF came out with some lists today, and we're known as the list killers. But this was a pretty good list for the Lions. They came out with their top 25 under 25. So the top 25 players in the NFL under the age of 25 years old. And the Lions were littered all over this list.
Crazy.
Chris, start with the lowest ranking, and then we'll work our way up.
Work your way to 1, right?
Yes.
Got it.
So the first Lion on the list at number 21 was Jahmyr Gibbs.
Nice.
They said while he had a limited role, Gibbs got more and more playing time in the 2023 season, wore and became an electric player for the Lions in the second half of his rookie campaign following week 7 after return from injury. He earned a 78.0 PFF overall grade, which ranked 11th amongst running backs, while his 82.0 rushing grade tied for 7th at the position. The players Jahmyr Gibbs is ahead of in the top 25 consist of Jalen Carter at 22, Derek Stingley at 23, Chris Olave at 24, and Kyle Pitts at 25. Jahmyr Gibbs, ranked 25 on this list. How you feeling?
He could have been a little bit higher. I'm not going to lie to you, but of course I like the ranking period, man. He was an absolute revelation for this team. He's so, I hate to say he's Barry-esque because he's probably the closest thing to Barry we've seen in quite some time, man. And I'm looking forward to see what he can do this year, especially in the pass game, because that was one thing about his game that we thought we would see more of. And he kind of, he didn't do as great last year, but towards the end, we started seeing him catch more screens and things of that nature out the backfield. So if they can get him acclimated with that, man, he is a full-blown weapon. You can't stop the guy. You can't.
Easy?
Jahmyr Gibbs, man, I'm just geeked that we're getting this type of respect. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird around here. All right. I don't know what the hell is going on. 5 in the 25 under 25.
Used to be hard enough to get one on that list.
You know what I'm saying? Like we
Yeah.
used to be, we're the list killers for like these types of lists, Benny. I can't really complain. I'm more curious of who was ahead of him. Just
Who
Did they put Bijan over him?
Who's ahead of Jahmyr Gibbs? At number 20, they have Tyler Lindenbaum, center for the Baltimore Ravens. And then the next Lion on this list checks in at number 19.
Oh, okay.
Where you have at number 19, tight end Sam Laporta.
Damn right.
Says multiple first-round tight ends have faced high expectations in recent years. Laporta, a second-round pick last year, was not one of them, but he arguably outplayed all rookie tight ends over the past decade. I don't think it's arguable. I think he definitely did.
Oh, yeah, that's not even arguable.
It says
Dick
Why would you say
Butkus,
something stupid like arguable?
His
No, he definitely did.
981 receiving or regular season snaps as a rookie led all tight ends over the past 6 seasons by a significant margin. In addition, his overall and receiving grades are second to only Kyle Pitts' rookie season over that span. Sam Laporta checks in at number 19. How you feeling?
It's appropriate. He's arguably a top 3 tight end. It's only been 1 year. So everything that we said, he's had the best rookie tight end season of any tight end we've ever seen. So he's absolutely, and he should be above Kyle Pitts. I don't even know how Kyle Pitts made this list, to be honest with you. I know the talent is there, but we got to see more. What you feel, Eazy?
I'm looking at the list right now, and I'm just peeping names that I feel like our guys could have been ahead of, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like just as like Spinny said, that I mean the Laporta season alone was the best of, I mean probably second best all time rookie for as far as rookie seasons go. I mean he was the closest to breaking that record set by Mike Ditka, who has the greatest rookie season. An insane season in itself as I mean that one was wild. But I'd see Greg Rousseau over him.
Yeah.
I mean these are guys I like too. Javon Holland, and then this one you asked about already. KG, Bijan Robinson at 16 over Laporta and Gibbs.
Yeah.
Where we at with that?
Fuck no, baby.
He was a
Right?
better back than Bijan.
He was.
Yeah.
And Laporta, better tight end than Bijan was. I like Bijan. I'm a Bijan guy. Love when girls get Bijans. They're the best.
Yes.
However,
love me some Bijans.
Laporta, we just said, again, all-time rookie tight end season.
Gotta be.
Bijan was nowhere near that as a running back.
Yeah.
He was even better than Gibbs as a running back. That's the only part I kind of beef with so far.
That's fair. It's fair. We're going to get to the rest of these, but first we do got to go to break. Nick, tell us about the morning show.
If you are waking up and not immediately putting on Wake Up Woodward, you are doing it wrong. Check it out every morning, 8 to 10 p.m. with Broder, Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, JB, and KG. Every morning to cover all the Detroit sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday. Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights, live on Woodward Sports, live from the Planet Fitness Studios. For KG, for Nick, for Eazy, for Chris, I'm Spencer. We are the Heavyweights. And we are breaking down this PFF top 25 players under 25 list where the Lions are littered all over them. We just talked about Sam Laporta being at number 19. Jahmyr Gibbs is at 21. You're moving up the list. You got Bijan Robinson at 16, Tyler Smith at 15, Will Anderson at 14, Puka Nacua at 12. And then at number 11, we have the next check-in for the Detroit Lions. Amon-Ra St. Brown at number 11. The first team All-Pro at number 11 on this list. He says St. Brown, who will turn 25 during the 2024 season, proved in 2023 that his breakout 2022 campaign was not a fluke. He was one of just 3 wide receivers to earn PFF overall grades above 90 in both 22 and 23, with Tyreek Hill and Justin Jefferson being the other 2. St. Brown has snagged 93.5% of his catchable targets over the past 2 seasons, which ranks second among wide receivers. First team All-Pro, Amon-Ra St. Brown being ranked number 11 on this list.
Outside the top 10.
While Garrett Wilson is ranked number 9.
It's crazy.
How do you feel about that?
The Garrett Wilson thing, we already know that's BS. But honestly, I would swap him where Hutch is on this list. And I know we're going to reveal that a little bit later. But he's been consistent the whole time. And this is no Hutch hate. I'm a big Hutch fan. But we still can see another gear that Hutch can tap into. I feel like Amon-Ra is already there, man. All-pro receiver, over 1,200 yards, man. He's been a consistent force in this offense the last 3 years. I would honestly put him where Hutch is on this list, but that's just me.
I'm with that. I mean,
I'm with this.
There is a name that you and I have been in screaming matches over on this list at number 3 to have over Amon-Ra St. Brown at this point in their careers and what they've achieved at their respective positions.
That's crazy.
Is disgusting. I mean, it is just, it's disrespectful. I mean, All-Pro, this isn't a Pro Bowl where it's like a little bit of popularity vote.
First team All-Pro.
First team All-Pro means you were an absolute dog.
Yeah, in just 3 years.
Yeah. Just 3 years. Your third year doing it. This is, he should definitely be higher. There are names within that top 10 that I'm like, okay, I can see. Garrett Wilson, one of those
Garrett
names,
Wilson
by the way,
at
guys.
9.
Where you at with that?
I would put Amon-Ra St. Brown above Garrett Wilson as of right now.
Can you see the potential of Garrett Wilson being?
has the potential to be there for sure. He's
but his quarterback can't stay on the fucking field.
Yeah,
so
but we've seen Amon-Ra St. Brown be one of the best receivers in football for the past 2 years. We have not seen that out of Garrett Wilson.
Amon-Ra's doing what Jared Goff for Christ's sake. I'm fucking around.
No, you're not.
And going forward, you have Brock Purdy at 8, CJ Stroud at 7, which is wild. Aiden Hutchinson checks in.
Oh, yeah, what the? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Aiden Hutchinson checks in at number 6.
Now, swap him in Amon-Ra. We good. I promise.
They say Hutchinson flashed potential in his rookie season in 2022, but he brought his game to a whole new level in 23. His 91.2 PFF pass rushing grade placed 5th and trailed only an elite group of 4 players: Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, Nick Bosa, and TJ Watt. Hutchinson's 110 total pressures during the regular season ranked 2nd among edge defenders. Aiden Hutchinson ranked number 6, above the likes of CJ Stroud and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
You can argue CJ Stroud is above him, but I mean, Hutch obviously is a dominant force, man. He caught up last year towards the end of the season, caught fire, 11.5 sacks, was an absolute beast in the playoffs. And we look forward to seeing more, especially with the addition of DJ Reader this year. There is no excuse to me why Aiden Hutchinson can't hit 14 sacks. But, you know, either way, this kid, ever since he came in, he's been a nonstop worker, and he just continues to get better and better. So, Eazy, what you feel, man?
I just felt complete. Listen, we shouldn't have to be thankful to be on these lists because these guys deserve to be on this list. I should have to be grateful that these guys are on the list because they deserve to be on this list. But the names ahead of these guys, they are starting to get to me a little bit. And then I went and found the guy who wrote this article, Zoltan Bude, which this list getting kind of Bude in itself. Anyway, this guy went to school for like business administration. I feel like there's a clickbait type of situation going because like I'm a Trevor Lawrence guy. I argue for Trevor Lawrence, but for Trevor Lawrence to be ranked over C.J. Stroud, which I guess I get is 1 year for C.J. Stroud, but a phenomenal one.
Not even close though.
Aiden Hutchinson, freaking Amon-Ra St. Brown. I mean, that's wild to me.
Trent McDuffie.
That's wild to me.
They must really like Trevor, man.
Chris, how you had some? I saw your hand was raised.
I don't see why we're that surprised. I disagree with it, but I don't see why we're that surprised. I mean, Aiden Hutchinson is one of those PFF darlings when you look at their pressure numbers. I mean, how many times have we had the pressure conversation on this show and throughout the network? So to me, I'm with you, KG. You brought up an excellent point, swapping Amon-Ra. So far, do you guys think that of the 4 that they named, the 4 lines that they named so far, do you think they have the right order for those?
No.
Other than
I would
Hutch
put
and-
Amon-Ra St. Brown over Hutch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is
Yeah.
that the only change you'd make? Or?
Yes.
Probably.
I'll
yeah.
make a couple more changes to this list, but that's
No,
fine.
in terms of
Out of the
lines.
line,
Oh, in
out of the
terms of
lines
lines,
rankings, yeah, that's the
So you
only
would
one I
put
would
Gibbs
make.
beneath Laporta.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
of right now.
I kind of want to go.
Yeah.
Gibbs, though.
Shout out to Gun Guy, take your pants off. If you are going to put Gibbs over Laporta, I'm not going to be mad at you.
I'm not mad at that either.
Yeah.
But finally, we are going to, we'll talk about the top 5. But at number 1, they got this right. Because number 1 is Penei Sewell.
Undeniable.
Although Sewell has already played 3 seasons in the NFL, he is only 23 years old and will not turn 24 until October. His 3,359 regular season snaps over the past 3 seasons ranks second among all players, and he is on his way to becoming the best offensive lineman in the league. No, he already
already
is
there.
the best offensive lineman in the league.
No.
The Oregon product's 92.8 PFF overall grade and 95.1 PFF run blocking grade led all offensive linemen in 2023. Penei Sewell is the best non-quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah.
Penei Sewell is the most important non-quarterback in the NFL. He is the best offensive lineman in the NFL, and he is by far the best 25 under 25. The guy is a freak of nature. He is a monster. Every single GM in the NFL would draft Penei Sewell in the top 3 of a redraft right now. Like the dude is an absolute freak, and he is the most important player on the Detroit Lions, and it's not even close.
Yeah, that's a great point. Same with Trevor Lawrence in the draft class. T-Law probably still goes number 1 because he's a quarterback, but maybe we should do one of these redrafts one of these days for that one. See how high Penei goes.
Like you said, it's got to be top 3, man. But what's understood don't need to be said. Penei, anytime you go 17 games and only give up 1 sack the whole time, is man, he's next level. And it's crazy. We're already, in year 3 or 4 of him, and we easily say, oh, yeah, he's a gold jacket without even batting an eye.
Yes.
Like, it's crazy. It's crazy what this guy does. But absolutely, he deserves to be number 1.
Yeah, and Xavier D says, Shift God says, since he regrets it every day. Damn right they do.
Yeah.
Cincy?
Yeah.
They were in a Super Bowl.
They probably would have won a Super Bowl if they had Penei Sewell.
A lot of people was Mike.
Jamar really helpful. I mean,
Boyd.
there's structures different folks. I really don't know, actually. That's a great
A
question.
lot of people was arguing Michael
Burrow
Parsons in that draft.
Joe Burrow wouldn't have been
Yeah.
under as much pressure if Penei Sewell was there. I can tell you
That's a
that.
great point, because Micah Parsons is still also really freaking good.
Yeah, but he's not Penei, though.
I'm taking Penei Sewell over Micah Parsons, and I talk about it all the time. The twosome you get with the Lions, like they got Penei Sewell and then they got Aiden Hutchinson the next year. I'm taking that over Micah Parsons and then Evan Neal the next year. Like I don't even think that's close.
When you think about this draft pick that Brad Holmes made, this was the change of culture that we all talked about, that we all wanted. Like, he brings it every single game on that offensive lineman. He's the one bringing it. Like, this has just been the most terrific, pick. I remember everyone wanted Fields. What are you going to do when you draft a quarterback, but you don't have the offensive line to back it?
Big fact.
So that's why I'm extremely happy that we went with Sewell in this draft. I think it's the best pick Brad Holmes has made, besides maybe Amon-Ra St. Brown.
No, Penei Sewell is undoubtedly the best pick that Brad Holmes has ever made. D-Money98 says, once Trent Williams retires, he will be unanimously the number 1 tackle, just like Ragnow is
He is
now
right now,
when
man.
Kelsey is retired. Yeah, he's right now. He's the best offensive lineman in the NFL. I think he's the best non-quarterback player in the NFL, the most important non-quarterback player in the NFL. Like, the guy is just, he impacts games on a different level. He plays every game, and he's the best. I love the guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
The best around. One thing I want to say, I didn't get to get it in during the Hutch segment, but I'm totally cool with people swapping Amon-Ra and putting him over them just because, he has the actual, concrete numbers to say it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But with Hutch, with the triple teams, we broke it down to the Thanksgiving game, how he's being blocked. I think if you had another piece alongside him, he would probably be getting the numbers that would feel a little bit more comfortable putting him at 6. But Penei Sewell, number 1. No problem with it at all.
Yeah.
Not trying to abuse Zoltan. I was just kind of confused with Trevor Lawrence being up there at number 3 above Amon-Ra.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence at number 3 is ridiculous.
I might even put Stroud over him.
I'm putting Chase, Hamilton, Hutch, Stroud, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and maybe Trent McDuffie over Trevor Lawrence right
He's
now.
in the late teens to me.
I got to get one of these national
He's outside of the
guys
top
on.
10 for sure.
Yeah.
They got Kyle Hamilton at 5.
Hey, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. Even when we tried with number 12, I thought we were getting him. Didn't happen. But I like J-Mo.
Yeah. Jamar Chase at 4, Trevor Lawrence at 3, Sauce Gardner at 2, and Penei Sewell at number 1.
Straight up swap. Would you trade J-Mo for Kyle Hamilton?
Yes.
Yeah. I think so, yeah. KG.
Don't do that to me. It's only because I'm looking at the potential of J-Mo. But as of right now, yes, Kyle Hamilton is a better player.
But we already got, I mean, that's the cool thing, though, is like I definitely wanted Kyle Hamilton, and obviously he is like what I thought he would be. But we have a pretty good safety group ourselves.
Yes, yeah, man.
Between Afonso Melifonwu, obviously
Kirby.
Brian Branch, Kirby. Yeah, like we've made up, I think, at least the production you're getting out of Kyle Hamilton with the three guys that we have. And again, those guys, we all, at least I expect, to take another step, given the DJ Reader signing, given another year of development with Jack Campbell. Who else? Davenport, if he stays healthy. You know?
I pray, man.
So we'll see, man.
So again, PFF did a top 25, under 25 list. The Lions had 5 players on it. Jahmyr Gibbs was 21. Sam Laporta was 19. We had, where was it? Amon-Ra St. Brown at 11. Aiden Hutchinson at 6. And Penei Sewell at number 1. I think that's pretty. I mean, is there anybody you think they left off of that list on the Lions that could have been?
No.
Brian Branch, maybe? Not yet?
Well, not yet, but he'll be on this list next year, I promise you.
I'm trying to see.
Branch did have a lot of numbers.
What?
To go with the eye test.
Would
Branch
you put
did
Brian
have
Branch?
Branch could be on this list.
He's
Would
arguable.
you put him over Kyle Pitts?
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you put him over Chris Olave?
Yes.
Would you put him over Derek Stingley Jr.?
No.
No.
Jalen Carter?
No.
Maybe.
That one's close.
So that's the
Yeah, Kyle Pitts over.
those are the bottom 5.
Pitts and Olave, most definitely.
Like, it can't just be the fantasy community. I mean, Kyle Pitts has been MIA after that. What, he had 1,000 yards or 900 yards that rookie year?
And that was weird. Matt Ryan throwing to him. So.
And that's what they said about Kyle Pitts. While Pitts surpassed 1,000 receiving yards his rookie year, he failed to reach 700 receiving yards in either of his 2 seasons since then. However, he is still only 23 years old and showed plenty of potential to suggest that he could become one of the top tight ends in the
But if we're going off
though.
potential, then Branch should be in that same conversation based off what he gave you in just his rookie year.
Yeah.
And by the way, on a defense that just wasn't complete or played with any type of consistency at all last year, other than like stopping the run. But again, they sacrificed a lot to stop that run.
Right.
Yeah,
I think Olave's
only
pretty-
6 touchdowns in his career, Kyle Pitts.
I think Olave's
Branch has
pretty
1
good.
already. And,
How
you
many
know,
years he been in the league now?
3.
How many sacks did Greg Rousseau have?
That's a good question.
Shout out Broder in the chat. What about Aleem McNeil? He just turned 24. Should he be there?
Not yet.
Not yet.
The
We need to,
production
we,
this
need to
we
see
had
more.
we saw a good season of him, but until he got hurt.
The half
But
a
he
season,
hasn't
really.
had a breakout season yet.
Would you put Aleem over Olave, potential-wise? No.
No.
I mean,
Olave
Olave's-
is nice.
This
man.
list is pretty, Pat, I'm not going to lie. As
Olave's
much
got a
as,
1,000-yard receiving season, you know.
Yeah.
yeah.
with
not-
Derek Carr as his quarterback.
I think Aleem is going to be on there after this year, maybe, but we need to see him do it before we throw him on the list. Guys.
Rousseau, actually, obviously the new look Aleem, his numbers are very comparable. Only 5 sacks last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
8th year previously, but he's playing interior D-line.
I would put him.
He's got 4
they got him
pass
listed as
deflections
an
each one of
edge,
his years, though. And a forced fumble in each one of those.
I would put Brian Branch over him.
Over who?
Rousseau.
Russo?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
tough.
wouldn't be mad at that.
Oh, that's tough. He's got the quarterback hits. He's got 4 forced fumbles. I'm sorry, 1 forced fumble in each season. 4 pass deflection each season. He's getting to the quarterback, too.
Mm-hmm.
He has 1 interception his rookie season. I love Branch. I might keep Rousseau on this list. Just from looking at what he's contributed. But I definitely would take Pitts out. This is a pretty solid list. It's easy to, as much as we pick on PFF.
Yeah. I wouldn't put Aleem over. Broder says Aleem over Pitts. I would not put Aleem over Pitts.
No,
I mean,
not
Kyle
yet.
Pitts. Like I said, Kyle Pitts has had a 1,000-yard receiving season in the NFL. Aleem really hasn't had a breakout season yet. We expect it from him this year, but I expect Kyle Pitts to have a great year this year as well. So we'll see what happens.
This should definitely make or break year for Pitts. There's no excuses. The amount of weapons they grabbed in this offense, and now you got Kirk Cousins. You already have a ready-made quarterback behind him, too, and Penix.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him not to produce this year.
Yeah. And you know Kirk likes to feed his tight ends.
Yeah.
But we do got to go to break. KG, tell us about Swiss.
All right. Swiss Insurance. Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Marcus Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, SwissINS.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Visit Dispo Dispensary today for deals too good to miss. Meet a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. Try the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights, live on Woodward Sports, live from the Planet Fitness Studios.
We live.
For KG, for Nick, for Eazy,
Let's
for
go.
Chris. I am Spencer. We are the
boys in the
Woodward
building. Know what it is.
Heavyweights.
Ooh.
We brought something up a couple weeks ago, or last week, I think it was, about Project Martin and about how he's looking like he changed his body and how he's going to be a factor in this. I talked about how adding Terrell Williams as the defensive line coach will also play a big factor into helping Project Martin becoming a rotational piece on this defensive line. The Lions posted a picture. It looks more than losing a couple pounds. It looks like he transformed his entire body.
Yeah, it looks like a different dude.
That dude looks like an absolute monster.
We saw him in camp last year. He was hard to miss.
Yes.
And he was round. This guy is more muscle, obviously, in this photo. Like his gut, it's a little bit like Nick Fairley-ish. You can see it like at the bottom of the jersey.
Yes. Can't see it there.
That shirt's loose at the bottom there.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? All those jerseys are form-fitting, I get it, but not the practice jerseys. Typically, like we were watching, we're going to see a dog. We're going to see a dog.
I think this guy's going to have a big year. Now, I don't think he's going to be this all-star or you know, Pro Bowler or anything like that. I think he is going to be a key piece in the contribution of the defensive line. I think having DJ Reader in front of him, who, you know, if you could pick one player to be like, Broderick, we want you to be this guy in the NFL, it would be DJ Reader.
Yeah.
Adding Terrell Williams, as I already mentioned, as the defensive line coach, and him dropping that much weight and putting himself into playing shape, this is going to be huge for him. He's going to get into games. We're not going to see healthy scratches from Broderick Martin at all next year or next year. We're going to see him be a rotational piece and a piece to be reckoned with for the Lions defensive line.
Yeah, and we need him. Like plain and simple. And we hope that he would play in front of Mekhi Wingo, because we like Mekhi Wingo's potential, but he's been here for a year. And he has better size than Mekhi Wingo. Shout out to Brendan Dillinger in the chat. But yeah, he's a bigger guy, so he's what you would want more in the middle to slot next to Aleem, to slot next to DJ Reader.
Yes.
You know, on downs where he's coming in. So we hope for a lot of improvement. He had a year to work on his development, maybe his footwork. I think that was a big issue because of his size. So yeah, man, we just got to see it, man. But we are going to see him this year, and I'm looking forward to it.
If he's showing that much commitment to just getting in shape, I gotta assume he's worked on like the techniques and stuff like that too. Like he went to Western Kentucky, if I'm not mistaken, and the first thing you notice on tape is him standing straight up. Which, like, if you ever play football in your life, low man wins. They always tell you get low. Broderick Martin will stand straight up, but he was so massive that people still couldn't move him. I don't want people to think like this weight loss is similar to Lee McNeil's, to where he's going to go and start like pressuring the quarterback now.
No.
He's still very much similar to DJ Reader, where he's just meant to like clog the lanes.
Yeah.
If he has that little bit
run,
extra pep in him and does that, then God bless him. But I think this works out too, because DJ Reader, one of the few questions you have about him is he's coming in off that injury. And you question whether he's like able to go right away, or if you want him going 100% right away, or like how much usage you want to have with him. You feel more comfortable that Broderick Martin's showing a commitment to his craft, or you're comfortable enough to put him in rotation with DJ Reader, and you don't have to rely on him being a third down guy, a 3-down guy. Although DJ Reader still is or has been a 3-down guy in his career. I don't want anyone to get that shit twisted. DJ Reader's an absolute dog, but like these defensive linemen, I think it started here in Detroit with the Jim Schwartz, just rotating the big guys constantly, keeping them fresh because they're bigger bodied guys.
Look at the Philadelphia Eagles and the San Francisco 49ers, two of the best defensive lines throughout the past couple of years in the NFL, always at the top, always have extreme depth of rotating these pieces in. And I made a post talking about it on Twitter the other day, how now you have a unit of two guys that you can move in. You've replaced, these guys need a break. You got Broderick Martin to fill in for DJ Reader, and you got Mekhi Wingo to fill in for Lee McNeil. And then on top of having guys like Josh Pascal, like John Kaminsky that are versatile, can move around, do different things, Levi Onwuzurike is going to be fighting for his NFL life in this
Oh,
camp.
absolutely.
This is something that this is a year where he might not make the team.
Yeah, he might not make it out of camp.
You added Pecco on the offseason too, who is a guy who started 13 games for the Titans last year, who is very familiar with Terrell Williams' system and is a very solid piece, a depth piece to have. Like Pecco is like a Bohanna, Alualu, Isaiah Buggs type piece, but now we don't need him to be a starter. He can be that depth piece, that fifth guy on the defensive line. So with the improvements that we see in a picture, just weight size of Broderick Martin, adding Mekhi Wingo, who they're very high on, who I am as well, and the versatility of guys like Josh Pascal and John Kaminsky, Levi Onwuzurike is going to have to do a lot to make this team out of camp.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely worried about Levi, man. And it's hard to come back. Didn't you have back injury issues?
Yes.
It's hard to come back from a back injury at that position, man. It's a lot of wear and tear on your back. But pause. But shout out to Broder in the chat. He was talking to Shift Guy here, and he said Wingo been coming off the edge in camp. So I think that's interesting, and that would lead more to the point that Broderick Martin is going to be an even bigger piece in the middle.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think? Wingo coming off the edge too?
That is something they said when they drafted him. They liked the versatility and his upside as a pass rusher. And like I said, you've got now 3 guys that fit that role. With Mekhi Wingo, with Josh Pascal, and with John Kaminsky, of guys that can play the inside, guys that can play the outside, guys that they like to move around on that defensive line. Where Levi Onwuzurike, man, you like, what are you in this defense right now? He's gonna have to work to achieve that. But yeah, Mekhi Wingo is the reason the reason they drafted him was because of his pass rushing upside.
Damn. So can we expect them to not sign an edge rusher if that's the case?
I think so. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, the other part too, Nick's guy that he talks about all the time is James Houston. I think he'll rotate. I don't know what Matthew Betts is.
Shout out.
I don't want to speculate any longer.
Bet on Betts.
I don't know if you want to do that
sacks.
either. But I think Mekhi Wingo. At least. I think you got the perfect rotation. Is you rotate, Wingo's going to get his snaps outside.
Yeah.
AG moves everybody around. You see Hutch inside.
We've seen it with Pascal too.
Yeah,
they move Pascal inside and outside.
Yeah, exactly. I think Broderick is what you rotate with DJ, like we just said. And I think Wingo is what you rotate with Aleem.
Yeah.
If he needs to be, because remember Aleem lost that weight to be on the field.
True.
But listen, I'm really excited about Mekhi Wingo. I'm like super pumped. I think that guy's gonna be a dog.
Yeah.
And
I'm unleashed.
Eduardo O'Neill in the Woodward Sports chat says, "Can we have a top 10 defensive line?"
No, not yet.
You don't think so?
I mean, I think it could be that. Let's see
it has
though.
potential. It definitely has potential.
Because last year we expect a little bit more too,
But Reader has to stay healthy. Like we need a lot of people to stay healthy on this D line, and we just need to see it, man. We don't know how Reader is going to affect Hutch. I feel like he'll affect him positively, but we haven't seen it yet. So
and last year they were bad, but they were playing with nobodies on the interior.
Big facts.
Especially after Aleem went down, literally nobody's playing on that interior defensive line position. And they added who Dan Campbell said is the best defensive line coach in the NFL. So I'm not going to say top 10 just yet, but top 15 is an achievable goal.
For sure. I could see it reaching there too with Terrell Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know if you just said this, but I apologize if you did. But he called him the best defensive line coach
100%.
in the league. Yeah, you did. I apologize. Well, I'm looking up his stats to see the splits. But
I literally just said it.
That's why I said I'm sorry, because I thought I heard you say it, but I was trying to look up his Wingo splits or whatever. No, I think you expect it to reach that. I would even go 12.
Yeah.
But it's just early. We got to see it first.
We do have to see it, fellas, but my thing is we all expect a massive step from Hutch. KG, you said that we do have to see it, but in his 3rd season now in the NFL, gain the weight. I think Hutch is going to take that step to being elite. And when you are playing with elite players, guys like Houston are going to get freed up. A guy like Aleem McNeil is going to get freed up. That's why I do think that this could be a top 10 unit in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because now we can cover as well. So that quarterback's going to be, or we think we can cover. I know it's a lot of ifs, buts. Are we going to? But the fact that we put so much into the secondary as well, these guys are going to have some more time getting to that quarterback, and I think they will.
And that first option is not going to be available anymore because I don't think it's an if we can cover now. They can cover in man coverage and stick to guys on the outside. Like that's what they traded for these guys for. That's what they drafted these guys for. And having that extra half second of, my first read isn't there automatically can be the difference that can change Hutch had 110 pressures. Well, you take fucking 7 of those and make them sacks instead of pressures, and that's already almost doubling his sack total.
Yeah,
so.
and that's the thing with Hutch. Like, we're not downing his ability. We know he can get in the backfield. He's a demon back there, but there are times where you see him in one-on-ones and he doesn't always make the right play, or he'll get in the backfield and he doesn't complete the sack. These are things that we need Hutch to work on, but he's already great just with what he is now. We know he can take that next step, and hopefully with DJ Reader being able to take up 2 people in the middle, that'll free up Hutch. He won't get chipped as much, and he'll be able to get around the edge quicker and get that sack.
And I'm not saying it's directly correlated, but look who's trying to get a trade out of Cincinnati right now before a big contract year.
Yep.
Trey Henderson, who's no longer there. DJ Reader to help him get the sacks he's been putting up.
Yeah.
Like I think that's a little bit of it. And then when it comes to Terrell Williams, like Spinney said, and I echoed afterward, like it's not just Dan Campbell saying it. Although Dan Campbell speaks truth, you can look at the numbers. He has resume. There's guys in his resume, Terrell Williams, that have produced all across the defensive line. We're talking outside, inside. We're talking because all defensive linemen aren't created equal.
That's true.
Like the Broderick Martins of it, the Justin Simmons. Like he even helped out Cameron Wake.
Yep.
Who Matthew Betts coming in from CFL. Maybe we can produce some of that magic, but
wait on it.
We'll see.
I bet Matthew Betts. If Matthew Betts makes this team, he'll have more sacks next year than what's his name did last year.
Charles Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Spinny Sportsbook is open.
Spenny Sportsbook is open.
Matthew Betts, 2 sacks.
2 sacks on the season next year. Let me tell you
about stipulations. If he gets 4 sacks, I say he's going to have more than him.
Let me tell you about Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford, together, let's ride.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza is taking over Michigan. Locations are popping up all over Metro Detroit, doubling the number of restaurants this year, known for their quality, hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, chicken sandwiches, and New York-style pizza. Be sure to stop in and try at a mega station near you or go to Sorokis.com to figure out where you can get some great pizza. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Smash the like button. We are live from the Planet Fitness Studios. For KG, for Nick, for Chris, I am Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. And now I got a question to ask that we were talking about it on BDE a little bit.
Okay.
And Neil and Terry both said that they had lower expectations, I think, than we do personally, and that a lot of Lions fans do as well for Terrion Arnold. They're a first overall draft pick for the Detroit Lions this year. Obviously, they traded up to get him. I had him rated as the best cornerback in the draft, and obviously Brad Holmes did as well. Are expectations too high for Terrion Arnold coming into his rookie season?
No, I don't think so. And just to go in depth a little bit, like, we understand that the corner position is one of the hardest turnarounds in the NFL.
Yes.
It's not an easy position to just be great at immediately. So that's what makes players like Sauce Gardner look so amazing, is that he was able to transition in 1 year. But when you look at his ability coming from the school that he came from and the amount of draft capital that Brad Holmes invested in him, a first-round corner, even though he was late, he was a first-round corner. They definitely expect him to compete for this CB2. Like, let's not get it twisted. And with some of the depth that they added, you look at some of the veterans they added, Carlton Davis, Amik Robertson, still got Emmanuel Mosley that's going to come back eventually. They have so much there in that room now to where they can let Rake and they can let Terrion develop naturally, you know, but they fit this defensive scheme so good. This is the perfect man scheme that fits their skill set. So I don't think it's far-fetched to expect big things from Terrion in year one. Now, do I think he'll have 10 interceptions? No, but I think 3 to 4 is reasonable.
Yeah, I don't think Lions fans, because they made it sound like Lions fans are expecting him to be Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's what Lions fans are expecting at all. I don't think we're expecting him to come in and be first-team All-Pro. We're not even expecting him to be cornerback 1 on this team next year.
Yeah.
I think you expect him to come in here, be cornerback 2, play opposite of Carlton Davis, and be a guy going forward. I don't think those are too crazy of expectations for him. Like you said, they insulated it very well, adding veterans like Carlton Davis, Amik Robertson, re-signing Emmanuel Mosley. Like, cool.
Yeah, I know, right? But
yeah,
hopefully,
don't get me started on that.
I know, trust me.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. But the room is much improved. You have veterans that he can learn from, guys that won Super Bowl.
Exactly.
You know, guys in Amik Robertson who have had to fight to get to where they are in the NFL. And I think the expectations coming into season 1 for Terrion Arnold are going to be a starter on this team and to be a good cornerback too. It's not going to be he's got to go out there and lock everybody down or be Terry on Island or anything like that, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, it'd be fucking nice if he did that, but I don't think that's what we're expecting. The highest expectations in the room that are Nick. Nick, how are you feeling?
Pro, never lost a snap. No. I have high expectations for this guy because what we've seen Brad do in the past. But I don't think it's crazy expectations by any means to think that he's going to be the starting corner or cornerback 2 on this team. That's where I'm with it. Yeah. I expect him to be better than Vildor, Jerry Jacobs, and Cam Sutton. That is what I expect out of Terrion Arnold, a guy that we traded a 3rd and a 1st to move up and trade up and get him in the 1st round. I think that is a completely fair expectation to expect him to perform better than Sutton, Vildor, and Jerry Jacobs, who they were like maybe undrafted guys. I think Sutton was a 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, Jacobs was undrafted too.
Exactly. It's like the amount of talent that this guy has. I mean, a draft grade coming out from Jeremiah was a 6.45. Last year, Devon Witherspoon, 6.47. See, I think Witherspoon might have been a little bit more NFL ready.
Yeah.
But I think Terrion Arnold can get there. Without a doubt, he's going to be a plus player for this defense. And I don't think it's wrong to have expectations that he's going to be a good cornerback 2 in this league pretty quick here.
Chris?
Yeah, I just don't see a world in which Lions fans are going to be disappointed. So I think that the bar is not that high after how last season ended. I mean, you saw multiple receivers, and granted, they were the top of the top, but all of them go for over 100 yards against the Lions. So you're just asking to limit that to 75, to limit that to 60. And those are all different games.
Right.
Those are all drastically different games. So you're looking at something that is going to, by default, should be marginal, should be substantial improvement, and that's going to be good enough. Now, I do think there is going to be that camp that expects a Sauce Gardner, but I think most people are level-headed about, look, just be better than Kendall Vildor, just be better than the guys that we had in this rotation last year, and you're gonna shine. So I think he's got the veterans around him, like Spencer said. He's got the playmaking safeties that he will throughout the season build chemistry with, build trust with, know how to play his cards right. All of those things, I think we're gonna see a natural progression from him throughout the season. And while he may start off solid, I think he will actually end the year as a very, very solid cornerback and one that you can trust going into the playoffs. I think the tape speaks for itself. When you watch this guy, he's got the tools to be great and to make an impact in the right situation, which I think this is for him.
Yeah, and this is not the Jeff Okudah pick, like the same by me. Why close. I'm saying that is like he doesn't have the same kind of pressure on him that Jeff Okudah did. When Jeff Okudah was drafted, it was like, all right, you're it. You're going to be our guy. We need you to be out there locked down on an island, number 1 cornerback. Yeah. That's not what Terrion's walking into. Terrion is walking into a cornerback room that is filled with veterans, filled with guys who have played a lot of snaps in the National Football League. So he's not going to be asked week 1 to go line up one-on-one with Justin Jefferson,
Right.
and in a vacuum. Like, that's not something he's going to have to do. I mean, he might have to guard Puka Nacua or Cooper Kupp a couple times in week 1, which is going to be a tough matchup for him, but he is going to be asked to be the secondary guy on this team for at least the first half of the season, and I expect him to take that role swimmingly.
Yeah, and with Okudah, I really don't think that the fit was good either scheme-wise, and I think that's another element of this that needs to be looked at because he's going to fit right into this AG man scheme perfectly. This is the corner that has eluded Brad Holmes and AG for all these years. We know last year he wanted to go get Devon Witherspoon, or the year before last. He wanted to go get Devon Witherspoon, wasn't able to get him. So he comes back and he doubles up on corners in this draft. And another thing is the Raxter factor. You got a guy that was drafted right behind you that they also expect big things from, and who is coming for that CB2 role. Like, let's not get it messed up. They've been playing him a lot inside in camp, but make no mistake, he is going to push Terrion for that CB2 role. So I expect, iron sharpens iron type situation, and it's going to make both of them better. But Terrion, yes, he has some things to work on in his game, but his overall skill set added to what this defense is, and now you got an hopefully improved pass rush that'll only help the secondary. I think he can absolutely tear it up.
Yeah, I do too. And like you said, that's a great point of having another guy that he was brought in with, a guy to compete with going forward, because Carlton Davis is the solidified CB1 on this team.
Yeah.
And we know Brian Branch is a dog at the nickel position. So you've got 3 guys fighting for that cornerback 2 position in Amik Robertson, Ennis Rakestraw, and Terrion Arnold. And that's just going to produce the best results possible throughout camp. Yeah. And on top of that, Brad Holmes kind of put his self-proclaimed reputation of a cornerback guru on the line. Like, before he went into this draft, he went out there and he said, "I'm a cornerback guru. Like, I that's what I do. That's my thing. I love defensive backs. I love cornerbacks, and that's the situation I'm in." He went out there and he drafted 2 cornerbacks in his first 2 picks.
Yeah.
So these guys, that's him. And I'm not doubting Brad Holmes. I think they're both going to be great players. But that's even more reason to think Terrion's going to hit the ground running, is because a guy in Brad Holmes who is so good at talent evaluation and player evaluation, who said himself, I know cornerbacks more than any other position, went out there and got this guy. You got to think he's going to be a stud.
Yeah, and just to add to your point, Spinny, somebody had said this in the chat a couple shows ago, but he knew what happened when he had Cam Sutton and Kendall Vildor starting for him. He doesn't want that to happen again. So he's more than accounted this year for injuries, for any potential matchup situations. He has enough people in that room now. And like I said, Emmanuel Mosley still to come back. We don't know what we're going to get from him. But if he's anything close to what he was pre-injury, then you're looking at a stacked room, man. Yeah. And this room is going to be ready. We're not going to see the same torching that we saw last year with a whole bunch of receivers going for almost 200 plus yards a game. It's not going to happen.
I agree.
Yeah, that was ugly last season. But to one of the points you made, Spenmo, when it came to Okudah, we literally traded our number 1 cornerback before drafting that player. Mm-hmm. And you think about, you're going out and getting a number 1 cornerback like what Brad did, where you are insulated. You did go out and get Rakestraw. You did bring in Amik Robertson. So I think that's a big difference when just learning from a guy like Carlton Davis. Like, could you imagine if Okudah had Slay to learn from?
Yeah.
Like, that would have probably made a significant difference in his development. And when it comes to Okudah, just real quick, Spenmo, or not Okudah, when it comes to Arnold, shit, after you, bro. Just lost it.
You're good.
Bro went like this and then turned the ball over.
That is something, like, that's a great point about learning from these guys. Like, that Darius Slade credits Rasheem Mathis for a lot of what he is as a player and his development early on in his career, because that's a guy on the outside. When you've got like Carlton Davis has won a Super Bowl in this league. He's gone up against the best of the best at the highest level in this league. So that is a great piece to learn from. And on the opposite side of that, you have a guy in Amik Robertson who's had to fight to get everything he has, who's had to fight to get the playing time, finally got his contract, finally thinks, all right, I got paid. I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be doing shit. They just draft 2 cornerbacks with their first 2 picks. Like, you don't think he's feeling a little salty about that? Like, you got a couple dogs in that room you're going to learn from.
Real quick, KJ, I got it back.
No, go ahead.
My question to you guys is, and maybe the chat and maybe some people earlier on the shows that were maybe trying to temper expectations, you think they're a little still hurt when they saw it with Jeff Okudah? being a first-round cornerback.
Yeah.
Do you think that could be why people are trying to temper expectations a little bit?
I think so, but I don't think people are looking at this the same way because Jeff Okudah was
they should. I don't think
the
they
third
should.
pick in the draft.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jeff Okudah was the third pick in the draft, and it was the last first-round pick of the Quintricia era.
Disgusting.
Just a trifecta of awful pieces to
Right.
make him one of the most hated Lions in a long time. I feel bad. Like, Okudah's a good guy.
He
like,
gave his all for the organization.
He gave his all. He did his thing. And it's not like he was god awful.
Right.
Like, he was a lot better than some of the cornerbacks we had out there last year. I'll say that.
Yeah. But when you injury prone in a bad system, it's hard.
You look at the expectations he had as the number 3 overall pick.
Right.
Ways it, like if
in
he
a
was,
win now year.
If he was a second round pick, we would not be saying the same kind of things about him.
Yeah.
And Okudah's a good guy. Like, I've met him a couple times. He's a nice guy.
He was never really even supposed to be drafted in that spot. The only reason they took him there is because was it Martha or Sheila first year? She wanted a win now mandate. And that's eventually why they got fired. But
Yes.
that's the only reason he even got drafted at that spot.
And that pick just pissed me off because, like, obviously Tua.
Justin
Herbert,
was
yeah.
there, and they
should have took a quarterback.
They went out and they restructured a deal and signed another quarterback, right? Which is like, it's telling everybody, hey, we're not taking a quarterback, so nobody's going to.
Right. But thank God all that happened. Look where we at now, man.
That's true.
Sometimes you got to go through the gutter, man.
That's fair. That's
True.
fair. I just I hate those guys so much, dude.
Yeah, man.
Patricia and fucking Quinn.
They really could have set us back worse than the Millen era. Thank God we had competent people coming here.
That's facts. If I saw Matt Patricia in real life, I would spit in his face. I'm not even. I fucking hate that guy.
No, yeah, he's horrible.
We do got to go to break. Let me tell you about Lady Jane's. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax, and let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same prices and all the conveniences, the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. They're family and locally owned and operated for 30 plus years. Over 60 brands of food with nutrition experts to help you. Same day, local curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com. What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports, live from the Planet Fitness Studios. For KG, for Nick, for Chris, I am Spencer. We are the Heavyweights. We appreciate you all joining us. Make sure you smash that like button. It helps out a lot more than you would think. We just got done talking about expectations for Terrion Arnold and what he is going to bring in to this team next year. I want to talk about expectations for some other players on this team and some lesser. Not we know the expectations for Hutchinson and for Goff and for Amon-Ra St. Brown and different things like that. So some lesser thought of players on this team. No disrespect to them, but they're just not at the top of the depth chart. Expectations, we'll start with Donovan Peoples-Jones. What are your expectations for DPJ next year?
I expect him to be even better than Josh Reynolds was.
Wow.
And listen, we've seen it.
Those are some high expectations.
Yeah, we've seen it from him, though. With Baker Mayfield at quarterback, he almost had a 1,000-yard season.
Yeah.
And I think he slots in perfectly. He's the big body that they needed in the red zone sorely. I know Josh Reynolds was in that role, but in the biggest moment, he didn't come through. Mm-hmm. And I don't totally sweat him for that. Overall, his Lions tenure was good, but what DPJ can be, and he's younger as well, I feel like he can be an even better Josh Reynolds And also, they can utilize him in the return game as well. So I expect to see a lot of DPJ this year.
Okay. Nick?
Yeah, I'm sitting about 500 yards. Reynolds put up like 608 last season. I think he needs to come up big on some third downs and maybe be able to stretch the field a little bit. I know Jared Goff isn't known for throwing the deep ball on point, it's like on streak routes, but Donovan Peoples-Jones can spread the field.
Yeah.
So I would like to utilize him. Maybe if J-Mo's coming across the middle, you get DPJ going on a deep one as well. So I could see that really coming in handy. But the biggest thing to me, catch the ball and contested tight windows on third downs. That's what he's going to have to do, like Josh Reynolds brought.
Yeah.
Chris?
My expectation is not much, and I don't mean that as a slight to him. I just think that the system around him, like there's so many pieces, there's so many ways, and again, part of my reason for having that low expectation for him is because Goff has made it clear throughout his tenure here that he really wants to take that time to develop chemistry. I mean, we talked about it with J-Mo, we talked about it with Josh Reynolds, we talked about it with Chark. These guys took time to develop with Jared Goff, and I do think it will be a faster learning curve just because Goff now has been in the system so long, and DPJ was acquired at the deadline, so it's not like he's a brand new guy coming into the system, but it will take a little bit of time. So I think lower expectations, but I don't think that's a knock on him. I think that he's just not going to have as big of a responsibility as maybe even Josh Reynolds had last year. I think he could have a lower expectation because you expect progression from Gibbs in the backfield and catching, like you said. You expect progression from Laporta. You expect Amon-Ra to be where he's been at, if not slightly above that.
Yeah.
You expect a massive jump from J-Mo. So those things kind of equate to him having lower expectations just by default.
I agree with you, Chris. My expectations of Donovan Peoples-Jones are a little lower. I expect him to be a situational receiver. I expect him to be a red zone threat more than anything else, really, because he is the best athlete in that wide receiver core. He's the biggest. He's the second fastest, but he can jump the highest. He's a freak athlete. But you look at what Josh Reynolds did, he was a big third down target for Goff.
Yeah.
The third down targets next year are going to be Sam Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and then end of story.
True.
It's those guys. You look at the level of chemistry that he built with Jameson Williams at the end of the year. We all expect J-Mo to have a big year next year. I think Donovan Peoples-Jones is going to be more of just a red zone guy and be a big body to target in the red zone rather than being kind of the possession receiver that we saw Josh Reynolds last year.
But I don't think it's far-fetched to think that he couldn't get that. And to your point, Chris, yes, there are a lot of mouths to feed in this offense, but that can also work to his advantage because a lot of people thought people like Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond weren't going to be big factors in the offense, and they turned out to be. A lot of the big third down plays were Khalif Raymond, were Josh Reynolds. So if Ben Johnson is cooking it up, then I expect a lot of people to get the ball. There's going to be thrown a lot of different ways, but I think he can mix them in to a point where he can definitely put up Josh Reynolds' numbers and maybe even a little bit better because he's a little more athletic. He's a little bit younger, but it is all yet to be seen. But I like I said, I expect decent things from him. They signed him back on a 2-year deal, so he may not be a mainstay, but I feel like this year he can prove some things.
Okay, next up, we got James Houston. What are your expectations of James Houston next year?
This one is tough, man, because I like James Houston a lot. I do feel like I don't know if he can get back to that 8 sacks in 9 games or whatever the number was. I don't know if he gets back to that, but I do expect him to definitely contribute. This will be a edge rusher by committee. Obviously, they didn't go get the big name edge rusher, nor did they really address it in the draft. Besides maybe Mekhi Wingo sliding over as another depth piece for that position. But I mean, he is going to be counted on, especially on third downs and on passing plays. He's going to be counted on to go out there and make plays. We've seen him do it before, so it's not like he can't. But I just need to see him do it consistently for a whole year.
Nick?
Yeah, I've been on the record. I think James Houston's going to have a big year. I think it was a fluke injury last season, and I think he's going to be back after a full off season to get healthy. And the fact with James Houston is that he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Well, he excels at that one trick. He is very good. He is very fast, and I don't think a single offensive tackle can stop him when he gets the jump that he wants to coming off that line of scrimmage.
True.
I think he is that good when it comes to specifically rushing the passer. I believe Brad Holmes knows that, And that's why he didn't address it. I mean, we heard the rumors that were coming out in the draft about maybe going after Robinson from Missouri.
Yeah.
We didn't do it, obviously. I think James Houston goes into this year, if he plays 17 games, I got him at 10 sacks. They're going to be big ones, and he's going to be on an island on that side, and he's just going to be able to blow past tackles. I think he gets a lot of that fire back from his rookie year, and I think he can do it.
The question is, will he be the same after that leg injury?
Yeah.
A big part of his game was that bend, being able to get around tackles that fast because of the bend in his legs. He had a leg injury. We got to see if he's going to be able to have that same type of movement.
Extremely fair question, but I have to believe that Brad has seen him in a spot where he knows that he has a back. Or else it would have been addressed. He didn't go out and get a big name guy like Daniil Hunter or something like that to pair with Hutch. So, Chris, where are you at with it?
Yeah, I have biggest expectations of him of anybody on this list.
Okay.
And that's just because of I do expect it to be a limited role like we talked about, but I think that he's going to be one of the biggest benefits of the upgrades to the defensive line. I think that even though he is situational, he won't be seeing the same amount of snaps as Hutch and yada, yada, yada. He's going to benefit tremendously because of the great upgrade in the defensive line. And I think that you're right. You have to see if he still has that athleticism, if he still has that same burst. But I also think another thing that sneakily plays into his advantage is he did have that one tremendous half a season where we were, talking about this guy's a sack a game guy, like he was putting up crazy numbers. But then last year, we barely saw him. Yeah. And so we always talk about, how do you respond after that year of tape, after that half a season of tape or whatever. And while that tape is still out there, I think that given the moves and the upgrades, the position that James Houston is in with this upgrades to the defensive line, he, again, is not going to be the first guy on the scouting report. Like, he's going to have that benefit of if your offensive lineman did not prepare, if they did not show up, if they did not hit film on every single guy, they might cut the corners and not really watch too much James Houston film.
That's
like
fact.
He's going to have low expectations in a sense around the league, and I think he's still going to be able to flourish in that manner. And again, the upgraded position I think just will help him tremendously. So I think he's got all the talent in the world.
Yeah, I have pretty big expectations for James Houston next year. I think in a similar situation, he is obviously going to be a situational guy. He is that pass rush specialist. He's the guy you bring in to kill the quarterback on obvious passing downs. He's not going to be playing a lot of rundowns. He's not going to be getting a lot of snaps, but the snaps he does get are going to be impactful and are going to change some games. I refer to him as the pit bull on the chain, and when you get to that pass rushing down, you let go of the chain, you let him loose, and I expect him to come in next year with fully healthy, no hamper from the last injury, and to be that guy. We talked about the improvements of the defensive line, how it's going to be freeing him up for even more one-on-ones, even more better situations rushing. And on top of that, we mentioned it in the Aiden Hutchinson talk about having that extra half a second because of the secondary. Mm-hmm. Having guys out there that are sticky in man coverage is going to be extremely impressive or extremely beneficial for a guy like James Houston, who gets off the edge so fast, who gets to the quarterback so fast. Having that half a second could be the difference of him killing somebody and him not killing somebody.
That's true.
I expect James Houston to play a big role for this team and to be a guy who is going to fight for that second spot in sack total on this team.
Okay.
We do got to go to break. We got a couple more that we're going to get to after break, but tell us about Glorious, Chris.
Glorious Cannabis is where you need to go to get a new Ice Water Bubble Hash Pre-Roll with diamonds. Constantly pushing the best cannabis experience. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flowers with only the highest terps to make the best even better. Glorious Cannabis. Check them out at your local retailer or visit gloriouscanna.com.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists. Enjoy a precision haircut, hot lather neck shave, scalp and neck massage, and a hot towel treatment to top it off. Enter for your chance to win the $50,000 Perfect Bracket Challenge. With more than 25 Metro Detroit locations, there's always a Lady Jane's near you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Dispo Dispensary. It'll be making a trip there soon. Visit Dispo Dispensary today for good deals, for deals too good to miss. Meet a team that curates an unbelievable experience and atmosphere. Try the freshest inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo today. Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button for KG,
Smash that shit.
Nick,
Let's
Chris,
go.
I'm Spencer. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We're talking about expectations for some players for the Lions next year. We did Donovan Peoples-Jones and James Houston. Next up is a newcomer on the scene,
sir.
a guy we just talked about maybe having a chip on his shoulder after finally getting that deal and then seeing two cornerbacks drafted in the first 2 rounds for the Lions. Amik Robertson, what are your expectations for him next year?
Now, this is the guy on the list that I expect the most from.
Wow.
We're going to see a lot of Amik, man. We're going to see him play that number 2 corner. We're going to see him play the nickel. We're going to see him play inside. We're going to see him play outside. He's such a very versatile piece. We're going to see him all over the field. And one thing that I do like about this kid is that, one, he's worked for everything that he's gotten in this league. First 2 years in, Vegas he was playing?
Yep.
First 2 years in Vegas, wasn't getting that much playing time. He worked himself into kind of a pseudo-starter role, and he flourished in it, man. He's very physical, and I do have issues about his size, but the fact that he's very durable, he's played 17 games the past 2 seasons, so that's something that we sorely need in this Lions secondary. We've incurred a lot of injuries over the past year. We want to see him stay healthy, stay back there and compete. I look for a lot out of Amik Robertson.
Nick?
I like that breakdown, KG. But when it comes to me with Amik, I think he's more of a positional depth guy. Honestly, I really do. I think you want him to be able to play outside and inside and be like the Swiss Army knife, but when it comes to like a depth piece, if needed to get thrown into it, I think maybe he does get a start early in the season. But I think by the time these rookies really get upgraded, they do have the size and like the traits that you would say. I know Amik Robertson brings that junkyard dog in him and he's going to compete every single day. But I think the other guys' traits might just come out a little bit more once they get used to the NFL. So that's why I see him being an extremely valuable, like maybe cornerback 3 depth piece, CB3, CB4.
Not mad at that. It's a good problem to have.
Exactly.
Chris?
This is a guy where I think he will perform very well for us. I think he will be. I think he will start as an immediate impact player, and I think he will kind of become a depth piece as the season goes on. I think he is kind of that bridge to the young cornerbacks that we got on this team, and I think KG said it. The thing that's most valuable to me that he brought or brings to this team is that he fought for everything. He's got that mentality, that aspect that he brings. You just got all different kind of guys in this cornerback room that come from all different NFL pro situations. So I think it's going to be a huge benefit. But I think on the field, performance-wise, if we're just sticking there, I think he will be very solid. I think he will compete for that number 2. I think he may even have a shot at beating Terrion Arnold early on in the season.
Yeah.
We'll see. But ultimately, I think he's going to start off as a key contributor, and as the season progresses, find himself as more of a very good depth piece.
Yeah, I think Amik Robertson is going to be like the super sub for the Lions secondary. I do think Terrion Arnold beats him out for that cornerback 2 spot coming out of camp, but I wouldn't be surprised if the first couple weeks it is Amik out there. I don't see that the way going, but it wouldn't freak me out if that's how it happened, just because of the level of player he is and how much of a Dan Campbell, Aaron Glenn guy he is. But like you said, he can play so many different spots on this defense. He can do so many different things. Play inside, play out. They're going to run some dime looks. They're going to run some other things to get him on the field, and he's a great player. They love him. They love what he brings to the team, and I could see him getting a lot of snaps, but I don't know if he's going to be holding down a starting role unless an injury happens. But that is a good thing to have. In case of an injury, you've got a guy like that who can come in and be an immediate factor.
And just think, a lot of people, if we hadn't have drafted Terrion, a lot of people had him slotted in at that number 2 position, man. So we'll definitely see, man. But I'm looking forward to big things from him.
Yeah. All right, next up on this list, we have Derek Barnes, the man who whiffed on Dak Prescott. No, Derek had a good season last year.
He made the best play in Lions history.
He did for sure. He intercepted Baker Mayfield for that win. What do you expect out of Derek Barnes next year?
And this is no shade at Derek Barnes, the person. I think he's a great person, man. As a player, he has worked hard these past few years to work into that pseudo starting role. But I think he's limited, man. He plays the run pretty well, but in terms of passing coverage, covering running backs out the backfield, it's no easy task. Don't get me wrong, but I think he's very limited there. But he will make an impact on his team. This defense will find ways to get him, involved. And with the addition of DJ Reader, we might see a few more linebacker blitzes. He may be able to get in the backfield a little more and make an impact that way, maybe getting after the quarterback. But ultimately, I think Derek Barnes, he might have reached the ceiling with this team.
I don't hate that. Nick?
Yeah, I think when you think about this linebacking group, you think about the 2 guys in specific, Jack Campbell and Alex Anzalone.
Yeah.
And then I think you can kind of reel the other 3 into maybe like the same, like similar type dude.
Mm-hmm.
And Derek Barnes, Rodrigo, and Germ. So that's where I just don't know where the spot is. Is it that 3rd starting linebacker? Or are they going to keep these guys
grouped
on?
all the minorities together and had the 2. No.
Jesus Christ, Spencer. Yeah, I just don't see it. I don't think he's going to have as big of a role as he had last season for this team.
Yeah.
I think maybe Germ or a guy like Rodrigo maybe get some more snaps there. But I think when you think about these linebackers, the guy that stands out, it's Jack Campbell and Alex Anzalone. Those 2 guys are not coming off the field.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually surprised to see how they are going to interchange these linebackers, to be honest, when it comes to the other 3 with Germ, Rodrigo, and Barnes. So I don't have the highest expectations for Derek Barnes, but thank you for the interception. Got to say that.
Much like I said with Amik, I see the same for Derek Barnes. It's a little bit different situation because he was here last year, but it's the same type of thing. I expect him to now kind of cede a lot of his plays and snaps to Jack Campbell, who's progressing, and
yeah.
I see it as that. I think he's going to be one of those guys that will be reliable, will be a depth piece. Say Anzalone, who was a warrior and battled through a lot last season, say he goes down for a week or 2.
What you gonna
Derek
do?
Barnes is shown to step up at a very high level. So I think last season is the peak of what you're going to see for him in Detroit. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I don't think it's a referendum on him at all. I think it just speaks to the talent that's growing in this linebacking room.
Yeah, I agree. I think he takes a step back into that solidified number 3 linebacker role. I think I've already been very vocal about expecting Jack Campbell to have an extremely good season next year. Yeah. Alex Anzalone has been playing extremely well for the Lions the past couple years. And Derek Barnes, I'm with you, KG. I think he has reached his peak as a player for the Lions, which he made great plays last year. Like when he was on the field, he did some things very well. But they tried to start getting him more snaps, is putting him in that Sam role, bringing him off the edge with the pieces that you brought in, like a Mekhi Wingo, like a Matthew Betts. They are going to be and a James Houston coming back. They are going to be filling that role a lot more. Those aren't going to be available as much for Derek Barnes anymore. And obviously, Malcolm Rodriguez and Germ are going to be just freaks of nature on the special teams units. So I expect Derek Barnes to be that fill-in linebacker, 3rd guy on the totem pole role.
Now, a lot has been made about, what additions we need to make to this team, post training camp.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have said wide receiver, edge rusher, but do you think that other outside linebacker spot is a spot that can possibly be targeted for an addition?
I don't know. I don't think so, honestly. I think how they like to run it is with the 2 linebackers, and I think when Jack Campbell steps up into that middle linebacker position, that'll fill up Anzalone to be kind of a sideline to sideline guy and do a lot of things coming out of the the middle of the field. while you have James Houston, you have Matthew Betts, you have other guys that can fill into that edge rusher position on the outside rather than having an outside linebacker out there. You've got that kind of a hybrid D-line guy. I don't think that's a position of need really, because I'm have some seriously high expectations for Jack Campbell and Anzalone as a tandem, and I think Derek Barnes is a good spot to fill in behind those two.
What's up, Chris?
We know it's not a position of need because we got God on our side. This man, this linebacking room has God on its side last year. When Derek Barnes prayed to God, look at how it turned out. Best performance of his career. So no, all jokes aside, I think it's something to look at, KG, but I don't think it's something. If
it's
it
not
becomes,
dire.
Yeah, if it becomes a situation, then I think that's because a lot happened to the linebacking room, not just one particular thing.
Okay.
I think it would take several things to cause that level of impact.
And finally, before we go to break, I just thought of another one I'll throw on there. Ife Melifonwu. What are your expectations for him next year?
Ooh, that's tough, man. It's tough because we're going to see a rotation with him, Kirby, and Brian Branch. I know they all play different safety positions, but it'll be a rotation between the three. But if he, just based on what he did last year, he's got to get some kind of playing time, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think in blitzing packages, he's definitely an asset. And I think he'll get utilized a lot. They won't have to blitz as much this year because they have improved the interior. They allegedly have improved the pass rush as well. So he won't have to blitz as much, but he's definitely an asset if you want to send a safety out of the backfield going after the quarterback.
Nick?
Yeah, I'm high on Iffy. I really am. You saw him take over games at the end of last season. That's where he was at in this defense, and Aaron Glenn knew exactly how to use him. Like you just said, KG, get into the quarterback.
Yeah.
Like he was elite when it came to blitzing. He obviously finished some interceptions. The sky's the limit for Iffy, honestly. He dealt with a lot of injuries early in his career. This is another Brad Holmes pick, fellas. This was from his first draft, and you guys just see him developing with the other pieces in this defense. I don't know the numbers on it when it comes to sacks or picks or passes defended, but I think he's going to be an extreme asset when it comes to this defense and a chess piece that Aaron Glenn is going to continue to use in the right ways, and he's going to come up in some big spots for the Lions next year.
And I guess that's what I would say too. I would just need to see it a little more. Like he was good, but it took him almost 3 years to get to that position last year where he was making plays. So I just need to see more.
I just don't see a fall off from him other than health, because I think you saw Aaron Glenn figure out exactly how to use him, play to his skill strengths or skill sets, and on top of that, again, this whole secondary has been upgraded and revamped for the better. So I think you're now just going to be, if you're Aaron Glenn, you can even, it's going to be even easier for you to put him in more advantageous situations. So I don't know what the snaps are going to be, because that secondary room is going to have a lot of versatility and depth to it. But I think from a pure impact wise on the game, maybe not numbers, but pure impact wise, I think he will be a very impactful player for him this season.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I can't say that he is going to keep up the same production that he had last year in his starts, because if he plays 17 games and he has the production he had last year, he'll be the best safety in the NFL.
That's true.
And I cannot project him to be that. Like, what he did was great, but if he's doing what he did last year throughout an entire series, that would be one of the best single seasons for a safety in the history of the NFL.
Super Bowl.
And I'm not going to say that is a realistic possibility. I think he's very good, and I think he's going to make some plays, but I don't know if it'll be on the same consistency as it was last year.
Yeah.
But he's going to be the starter back there, and I do think me and Eazy talked about it when they moved to the heavy personnel on offense. I do think if he's going to be the odd man out, they're going to bump him off and put Brian Branch back at safety with Kirby Joseph.
Yeah.
But I expect Iffy to make plays. If he can stay healthy, he's the best blitzer we have in that secondary, and he'll definitely do something. I just don't think he's going to be putting up a sack and interception every game.
No.
It's just a ridiculous torrid pace he was on last year.
That's facts. Now, same question that I asked about the linebackers. Do you think adding another safety is a smart move for the Lions?
They re-signed, what's his name, CJ Moore.
Oh, yeah,
right?
they did.
They re-signed him as a vet. He's more of a special teamer.
Yeah.
He's definitely more of a special teams guy. But honestly, I'm fine with the safety room as it is. If you wanted to bring in somebody else as a depth piece, I'd be cool with that. I don't think signing a big name safety would be that.
So
that
no
smart,
Justin
though.
Simmons for you.
No. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't say no to Justin Simmons,
Yeah, of
but I
course.
don't think that's a priority because I like our safeties. I think they're going to have a great year this year.
It's a good room.
Yeah. We're gonna go on a break. We're gonna come back with some Javi Baez talk, but first,
Do we
let me
have
tell
to?
you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you're at, there's Planet Fitness close by, more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody!
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Are you tired of the same old Detroit sports?
Merch.
Head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shot tab today. They got brand new hoodies, tees, hats, guaranteed to turn heads. Head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click that shot tab today and get yourself some brand new merch.
Catch me outside. How about that? Doesn't apply to the Lions this year because they only play 3 games outdoors the entire season. That's incredible. So everyone's asking me, hey, is this the time for the Lions? Can the Lions finally get over the hump and win the Super Bowl? Can they? You better believe they can. Look at it this way. Jared Goff, the man, comes over from the Rams. He's a cast out. Guess what? He establishes himself as a franchise quarterback, gets paid. Amon-Ra St. Brown has 75 million wide receivers drafted before him, dyes his hair blue. The sun god shows that he is the offensive Swiss Army knife that they absolutely needed there in Detroit, got paid. Then you got Penei Sewell. He is the enforcer at the line of scrimmage, got paid. So guess what? Now the Lions have all of these dynamic playmakers on offense. They retooled their entire defense to be able to go out and compete and not just get back to where they were, but actually become better. Now, those guys that have been paid don't have to focus on the money. They can focus on one thing and one thing only, and that's establishing and cementing their legacy in Detroit as Super Bowl champions. Brad Holmes isn't satisfied. Dan Campbell isn't satisfied. And it seems to me like no one in that locker room is satisfied either. They know it's going to be harder to do what they did last year, this year, because no one's going to be surprised by them. But guess what? That's why they come back with a better team, a better secondary, a better defensive line. And oh yeah, their offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, he came back too because he believes he has unfinished business. And when I look at the way that their schedule plays out, it makes getting home field advantage in the playoffs that much more important for the Lions. Because if they only have to play outside 3 times the entire year, why would they want to have to now go outside and play in the playoffs in the freezing cold when they've been chilling in the air conditioning like a basketball team the entire season? So that is going to be a point of emphasis. They have to get off to a fast start. And I believe this is the year after you have the extreme success, that the Lions can show that they are here to stay and they're not going to go back to the same old Lions of yesteryear.
Shout out to RG3 for putting that out there.
Big
Eat
shout
shit,
out.
Greeny. That's how you do it. Not
Hey.
jumping off the bandwagon after 1 year, you bum.
Hey, RG3, you my mans. You the only reason I kind of ever even like the Washington Commanders. That's not St. Brown, bro.
Yeah, that was not.
That was not St. Brown at all.
It was not St. Brown. And Mike Pennock in the Woodward Sports Chat. No, it is versatility. not versatility. It's versatility.
Versatility.
But yeah, I mean, everything he said is right. Everything he said is what we've been explaining over the past entire offseason is these guys, they have unfinished business. They have the expectations to come in here and to win a Super Bowl, and I have the same expectations for the Lions this year. I do think they win the Super Bowl this year. I think they make it happen. He explained how getting that home field advantage in the playoffs is important.
Absolutely.
And that's for sure. And that's why I said that 49ers matchup is going to be the most important matchup of the season, because that very well could decide who wins the NFC when it comes down to it, where it's at in the season. Obviously, you two are the two favorites to win the NFC, and you're gonna want that home field advantage. We saw how it worked. I bet the Lions don't give up 27 unanswered points if they're playing in Ford Field last year in the NFC Championship game. So that is something you need to establish. Getting off to a hot start is for sure a good thing. And he said the only 3 outdoor games you play next year, obviously the one in Chicago at the end of the year sucks.
Yeah, the 22nd.
But then one is in
December.
San Francisco. And the other, I don't even know.
Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay in
early November.
In November, which it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be nice, but it shouldn't be too bad. So I'm excited for this season next year, and I agree with RG3.
I mean, we all know that this is Super Bowl or bust, man. And if you ain't with it by now, you should. Everybody has said it, from Sheila to Brad to Dan to the players. Everybody knows that this is a Super Bowl or bust situation now. And it's not crazy to say anymore. The Lions have earned their spot to be here, but absolutely, number 1 seed should be the total goal going into the regular season. I don't care how it looks. I don't care how pretty it is. It's all about wins at this point. It doesn't have. It could be by 2 points, 1 or 2 points. By all I care, wins need to be put up on the board, because later in the season they're absolutely going to matter. You have a tough stretch at the end of the year. You're going to have to face division and play the 49ers on top of that. It will be for the number 1 seed, I'm convinced. So absolutely, we need the Lions to get off to a hot start, but I'm confident, man. This Lions team is ready. Everything they've done to this point has gotten them ready for this situation. And then when you look at last year, a lot of people think they played above their heads.
Yeah.
So if you look at that and you look at all the talent that they've added, they addressed the biggest need in the room, which was defense. We still have to see how that's going to look this year, but it should be much improved. So this team is ready, man, and absolutely number 1 seed is the goal.
And Robert Hayden in the Woodward Sports Chat says, with these contracts, they are for sure Super Bowl or bust. Would you say that it's even more stamped now that after they sign these guys that it's got to be a Super Bowl?
Well, I mean, you ain't signing these contracts to pussyfoot around, as the morning show would say. Absolutely, everybody in that locker room knows when you sign those type of deals, they know what the goal is, and they know how close they came last year. They were literally within a half of getting there. I hate even saying that because we lost the game ultimately, but when you just look at how close they were to actually getting there, everybody knows what time it is, man. When you sign those contracts, it's time to ball.
I agree. It's been my expectations have been Super Bowl or bust since last year, even before signing these contracts. Like, that's where you're at now. I say it all the time. Like, you're sitting at the big boy table.
Yes, sir.
It's not cute shit ananymore. Like, 30 years without a win.
Division.
Oh, so awesome. Yeah, division, great. No, I don't give a shit about that anymore. The only thing I care about is winning a Super Bowl. If you don't win a Super Bowl, the season's a failure, flat out. That's what it is. That's your expectations. That should be your expectations every year going on now.
And every year that you don't do it under that golf contract, that's another year of pressure. Everything gets tighter. It's like a vice grip. It gets tighter each time. Yeah. What's up, Chris?
Exactly. The biggest signing bonus, like, come on, like, these type of things point to this being a win now move. The way they structure the contract, everything about this, the fact that they re-signed all their guys, they have a quarterback under lock. What's the thing that they're missing? Like, you're just looking at fringe depth pieces. So there's no reason for them to be looked at as anything less than a contender. And you saw it last year when the world was saying, hey, it'd be nice if the Lions broke their streak and they made the playoffs and they won the division for the first time. It'd be nice if that happened.
Right.
But in that locker room, Dan Campbell was screaming all year, this is a Super Bowl team. We are going to get where we need to go. We got the guys that we need. So if you believe in that team last year being a Super Bowl team, then how the hell do you feel about this team? So I think Super Bowl is the moniker, that's a judgment, and anything under that is a disappointment.
What's up, Chris? I mean, Nick.
Fellas, we all heard it from
Lions fans.
Sheila herself said Super Bowl is the expectation going forward. So, I mean, the head of the leader is saying it, all the way from Sheila to Brad to Dan. You know, all of these players believe in it. Shout out RG3, great breakdown. We've been doing it for 2 weeks, it feels like, about all of the St. Brown, Panay Sewell, Jared Goff stuff. So it's good to see some national media love there with it as well. Yeah, shout out RG3. I mean, you guys all hit everything in this room. I think that 49ers game is obviously going to be extremely hard to end the season. If you win that game, you probably have the 1 seed and you can defend the den all the way through the playoffs, which is the biggest goal moving forward. Because if that happens, nobody's coming in here and kicking your ass at home. Let's fucking go.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about the morning show.
And if you are waking up and it is not with Woodward Sports,
Whoa.
You are doing it wrong. Check out Broder, KG, JB, Flannel Sam, and Kool-Aid. Let's go. Wake up, Woodward. If you're waking up and you are not putting on Woodward Sports in the morning, you are doing it wrong. Wake up with the fellas. Let's go.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and know a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by people. Your safety and security is our technology. It's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. Let's call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT, and let them know Woodward Sports sent you. What up, though, everybody, and thanks for sticking with us on Woodward Heavyweights. He is KG. We got Chris. We got Nick. I'm Spencer. We're live from the Planet Fitness Studios. Make sure you smash that like button. Now let's go to Mailbag. John effing Lord says, Mailbag, when we getting Woodward nights again? Maybe KG, Nick, and Justin as the hosts? Question mark. Ooh.
Hey, that ain't up to us. That's up to the powers that be. But the Night Boys back, man, I wouldn't be mad at that.
That'd be wild as hell.
Yeah, man.
That'd be super exciting. Maybe something we could push for closer to football season.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to push for. Alan W., male sec. Do you think after the San Francisco game, Dan should be a bit more conservative with his fourth downs? I think he needs to find balance, but I'm worried he will lose a lot of aggressiveness after criticism. Dan Campbell's going to be Dan Campbell. I don't think making or missing fourth downs are going to change the way he coaches or change the style of aggressiveness that he brings to the field. He got a lot of wins playing and coaching with that mentality, and I think you're going to continue to see the same hyper-aggressive mentality from Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I think it's game by game, but one thing about Dan Campbell, and I have been critical about it, I don't want Dan Campbell to change who he is. That's not what I'm saying. I just want him to be a little bit smarter in certain situations and not necessarily coach out of emotion. There were a couple times last year in the regular season, and of course, down the stretch in the playoffs, we saw him coach a little bit out of emotion and him make some calls that, you know, maybe he could have went differently. Would they have worked? We don't know. And I'm not going to sit here and play the hypothetical game, but I just want him to be a little bit smarter in certain situations. That's all.
Mailbag from Spencer Raxter. Why is Alyssa so fine? I don't know. I cannot answer that. I'm sorry.
It's a mean one.
Mailbag from Chef Talks Lions. KG, where you at, homie? You're still not on Twitter.
And I seen you in here, Chef. I promise I'm going to hit you today, bro. I got you, man. I forgot.
The Runyon 99 mailbag. So after we win the Super Bowl this season, how many NFC franchises implode? I say 2 for sure. The 49ers and the Cowboys.
That's a good question. The Eagles, man, I'm worried about the Eagles. Yes, they got talent. We know that. But the way they fell apart, no team's supposed to fall apart like that.
Yes.
Toward the end of the year last year. And we know why the positional coaches Matt Patricia had his handprints all over that. But I just don't know going forward if Nick Sirianni is the guy, man. Like, yes, he's had success, but just some of the things that has happened in that organization, I don't know if he's going to necessarily be able to come back from.
I would agree. I think the Eagles are the team that's set up for the biggest explosion. I think the Niners are set up for sustained, like they haven't paid their quarterback yet. So,
yeah.
And I doubt they break the bank for Brock Purdy. I think they just keep kicking the can down and trying to keep this team together.
And eventually it takes a toll when you keep getting so close and failing at the end. Like we've seen what's the coach?
Shanahan?
Yeah, we've seen Kyle Shanahan in this situation so many times, and he has yet to bring it home, man. So eventually that takes a toll on the organization. I don't know if it'll be like this year or even the next, but in the coming future, we can see that team falling apart.
Rando Smalls says, Mailsack, what 2 Lions defensive line will be on other teams when the season starts? I'm going to go with Levi Onwuzurike.
Yeah.
And, ooh, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Maybe John Kaminsky.
Oh, the commish?
Maybe John Kaminsky.
The commish? I don't know. I think commish stays. Levi definitely. I guess it would have to be commish. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I definitely Levi. I was thinking about that final guy. I just don't. They like Kamish. They like him in the locker room a lot. I can't pick a second guy here. I'm not throwing Kamish under like that because I think he does mean a lot to this locker room.
Robert Hayden says, "Damn Levi." I don't think Levi makes this team out of camp.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a struggle for him for sure. But that'll do it for us today. Appreciate you all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights. Make sure you smash that like button for KG, for Nick, for Chris. I'm Spencer. We're the Heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Who them kids?